Hi, and welcome back to another video for Your Soul Evolution. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to check the description box. I have created a free guided meditation MP3 that will help to raise your vibration. If you're not new to my channel, you may have noticed that back in November, I kind of ghosted my YouTube channel. And a lot of you had asked where I've been, and I told many of you that I was spending time with family, which is the truth ultimately. But there was something that triggered my absence. I had something truly devastating happen to me. I consider it to be the most devastating thing that has ever happened to me in my entire 37 years. So today I wanted to tell you a little bit about that and how I personally worked through devastation in hopes that you never need to know how to work through devastation. But if you do, I would like to give you some helpful hints, even if you just have a low vibration. It doesn't have to be some kind of catastrophe that has happened to you in order to use these tips. You can simply use them to keep your vibration raised. So first of all, I'm not going to get too detailed into what happened because it is very personal, it was very emotional, it was mental, it was very, very physical, and it is just something that no woman should ever have to go through. As I said, when something happens that comes to you seemingly out of nowhere and shoots you straight to rock bottom, or just something happens to you out of the blue that brings you down after you feel like you are in a really great place in your life, you are forced to ask yourself a lot of questions. You know, how did I attract this? Because we know that we are always attracting things based on the vibration that we are putting out. So you guys know I have many videos of me telling you everything in your life is a direct result of the vibration that you are putting out. So I could not say, oh, but that doesn't apply to me when something, terrible happens to me. So I also, of course, had to explore how I had attracted it. And at first I had no idea. And I struggled with that because I couldn't comprehend what I could have done. But over the course of the next couple weeks, I did discover what I believe had attracted it into my life. And that can really be a slap in the face and a wake-up call for you when you discover, fears that you have that you like to pretend that you don't have. So when something negative happens to you, the very first thing you need to do is feel all the emotion that is involved with that situation. Allow yourself that time. Do not hold anything back. Let yourself cry all that you need to. Let yourself question why did this happen? Why? Get angry. Lay around in your Harry Potter pajamas for a few days. Allow yourself a very reasonable amount of time to grieve, to be mad, to be upset, to be emotional, because this is where disease and illness can set in your life through what should be more of a temporary situation but can impact you years down the road. And what I mean by that is a lot of people have devastating things that happen to them. They don't take the time that they need to let out their feelings. They just stuff them down deep inside, and eventually that emotion has to have an outlet. So it will manifest in your life in a physical way. So whatever situation that has happened, you can make it a temporary thing. You know, like back when this happened to me at the end of November, there's no way I thought right now I would be in as good a shape as I'm in. I mean, honestly, I have recovered very well, and that's why I want to share with you what I have done. But a lot of people take what should be something temporary that, although can shake you to your very core of, you know, who you are as a human being, and you work through that. But some people make it long term because they don't do these things, and so they begin to have a disease or an illness that grows within them. And that is one of the most important things that I want to prevent anyone from doing. I want you to understand the seriousness of letting your emotions out, letting yourself feel everything that you need to feel around the situation. You have to let that out. Do not hold back in any way. Whatever emotion comes up, feel it with all of your being. Another very helpful thing to do during this time is to journal. My life has been saved many times by journals, because you can tell your journal anything. It's not going to judge you. It's not going to say, no, you shouldn't be feeling this way. You should be feeling this way. You know, like some people in your life, although they mean well, you know, you can tell your journal anything, and you can explore all the thoughts that you're having, anything. And so I recommend a journal, definitely, and just write in it as much as you can, every thought that you're having. Don't dismiss any thoughts around the situation, because that may be the core issue that attracted it to your life. Explore every thought that you have around the situation. And then once you have done this, you have to stop. You have to tell yourself, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to allow myself one last cry. I'm going to get angry one last time. And I have got to move forward. That's it. You must begin to let go of that resistance as soon as possible, because the longer you hold on to the resistance, the longer you keep the solution from coming. A solution never came from the vibration of resisting what has happened. As difficult as it may be, you have to treat every situation as if you chose it, because you did ultimately choose it. And that's a hard pill to swallow for people, and I totally get it. But we chose this situation into our life by our vibration in some way. Subconsciously, consciously, you chose it. And you have to treat the situation like this. You have to let go of that resistance. You have to remember that your vibration is attracting your next set of circumstances into your life. Every next step of your life is being determined by the vibration that you are putting out. So the longer you stay down in the dumps and upset and depressed and grieving and having all of these emotions, you are continually putting yourself back in a state to allow more of that to come to you. So that's why I say allow yourself the time to get all of that emotion out and grieve and all of those things that you need to do. But I also said make it a reasonable amount of time, and that is only for your best interest, because yes, it is very easy to be depressed and lay around for weeks and weeks and weeks and sleep and eat junk or whatever. You know, everybody deals with everything differently, but you're only hurting yourself ultimately, because your vibration is going to stay low and attract more low vibrational things into your life. So you have to keep that in mind, that the longer you stay down, the longer you're putting yourself at risk. And I understand you have to do it to a certain extent, but there comes a time where you have to say, okay, enough's enough, because I don't want to attract something just as bad or worse because my vibration is so low. After you have let go of the resistance, you've had your last cry, you're starting to see the dark clouds go away and a little bit of, sunshine coming through, you must devise your plan to move forward. Don't just try to wing it on your own. If this is something truly devastating that has happened, you have to give it the respect that it deserves and treat it as such. You have to take it step by step and make sure you come up with a plan to guide you moving forward. Figure out what you believe the reason was that you attracted this, because there was something. And if you want to move forward and not have the exact same experience and the exact same thing happen to you, you have to figure out the best you can what you believe attracted that to you. What fear you had, what belief you had, what you were doing when it happened, whatever could have attracted this into your life. And there are a couple of resources that I personally use. You may know of some other ones, but the Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life, is a great resource for this. It has a whole list of all different ailments and situations that can happen to you, and it gives you the spiritual meaning as to why this may have happened to you, and an affirmation that you can use. Now, I have been using this book for years and years and years for myself and other people, and at first you may think, no, that doesn't apply to me. I don't see how that would make sense. But 99% of the time, as I have continued to work through the situation and journal and express my thoughts through there and gain clarity through asking for spiritual guidance and synchronicities and things like that to come, I have discovered most of the time it was that whatever that core issue was what happened. It was it made sense ultimately. It just took me some time to get there. There's also this book called Metaphysical Anatomy, and it is very thick and it covers a lot more subjects than the Louise Hay book. Hers is pretty basic, although it does have a ton of different things, but this one just goes into greater detail on a lot of like childhood things. It's a lot about things you might have been feeling when you were in your mother's womb and things like that. It's very detailed. You definitely want to get your plan together. You want to write yourself affirmations to get you going. Affirmations are absolutely one of the greatest tools that we have to heal ourselves. We know from Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, that we can rewire our brains and our thoughts and our beliefs. And when something tragic has happened to you, you want to retrain your thoughts so that this doesn't happen again. I recommend that the affirmations that you create for yourself, use them for at least 21 days. That is usually what's necessary to really reprogram your thoughts and to give you that strength that you need to move forward. Affirmations can be as simple as, I am safe. It is safe for me to move forward. I am ready to move forward. I am ready to heal. You can come up with whatever you feel like you need to start your recovery process. I do believe it is very important to write these down in a journal, to commit them to writing. Say, every day I'm going to do the following affirmations for at least 21 days, maybe longer if I need to. I may come up with new ones along the way, but I'm going to commit to doing this. Commit to writing what you believe attracted this into your life, how you feel about that, all the things involved around that, and how you plan to go forward with that. I also asked and demanded help from my spiritual guides and my ancestors in spirit. I said, you guys know exactly what has happened, you know why it's happened, and I really need some help here. I need you to help me to feel just overwhelming peace and love as I pick up the pieces here. And immediately I felt peace and comfort, and I'm so grateful for that. And sometimes we forget to do that, but we need to know that we do have guides, usually higher aspects of ourselves, and we also have all those ancestors that are in spirit that are waiting to help us. They know when these things are going to happen, and they immediately start gathering around you so that they can help you with the healing process. So call upon them to help you, and you will feel comfort and peace. They will not deny you that help when you're, in desperation asking for help. I also asked for synchronicities. I wanted to know that what I felt was the core issue truly was the core issue, so that I would know that going forward the same thing would not happen again, because I know that I dealt with that core issue. So once I discovered what I felt the core issue was, and I wrote some affirmations around it, I started within the next few days getting synchronicities that was exactly what it was. So I felt comforted in knowing that this would not happen to me again, because I had hit the nail on the head, and I had created affirmations and done lots of ho'oponopono around that situation, and I was changing myself going forward. I was changing my beliefs and reprogramming my thoughts towards that going forward, and that is very important. So in conclusion, devastating things, tragic things happen to us all, and that's just the reality of being a human being. And I hope, and my wish for all of you, is that you're able to go through this life experience with as few things as possible that ever happen to you that are negative. And I believe that we can limit the amount of negative things that happen to us by watching our vibration and trying our best to tap in to fears that we have. If you feel any kind of fear around something, address that. Don't just let it linger on for years and years and years, because even though you may think that it's not affecting you, on a subconscious level, it could be. So if you know that there's something in your life that you have a lot of fear around, journal about it, do ho'opono around it. You have to acknowledge it. It's very important, because it can come back and bite you in the butt later. We must always be mindful of our vibration and where it is, and make sure that when we do have situations that bring down our vibration, that we do what we have to do to pull ourselves out of it and get our vibration back up as soon as we can. And I know, depending on what has happened, it can take a longer period of time, but the sooner you can start to move forward, the better it's going to be, because you will not be attracting more negative into your life. I would love to hear video ideas from you. I left a comment on my community thread where you can submit video ideas to me. Of course, I have plenty of ideas, and I'm looking forward to getting back into making videos for you. But I would love to help some of you directly if you have specific questions. If there's several of you that are struggling, sorry, my cat is hitting my tripod. If there are several of you that are struggling with similar things, I would love to make videos on that so that I can help you. And other than that, I will see you soon on the next video.